morning person. I don't really know what that means. I really don't. I have 24 hours in the day. I try to take advantage of every hour. And I have certain rules that I initially tell people on a regular basis. If you want to start living a successful life, start locking into a consistent time that you should get up every day. Don't let it deviate. Don't if you say get up at 8 o'clock, don't hit that snooze and get up at 8:30. I get up at 4:30. That's just my time. I'm not a happy guy getting up. But that's a goal I set. And I'm gonna just tell you this honestly. If you're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's gonna be best for you and not what somebody told you to do. And that's when all bets are off, man, because you about to enter some uncharted waters that's going to force you to challenge yourself to be perfect in so many ways. And shooting for perfection is all good. You don't shoot for average because you're not going to hit. You're not going to hit all the time. If you shoot for perfection and you hit good or great, you're winning. Don't ever shoot for average. I just try to get people to understand. Don't be average.
Walk us through the time when you were at IBM. It was so secure. I'm sure your family must have been over the moon that you got your degree. You're now in a huge company. There's a certain amount of safety. And you not only leave, you leave to be a stand-up comic, which is like the world's least thing ever.
I always tell people that you have to make adjustments to achieve your goals. And if you're not really happy about where you're at, but guess what? This change is needed, especially millennials. Some of the things that you're going to do in life is not tied to a check. Don't guide your life by how much you're going to be paid, but how much you get out of it, the opportunity. That's really key. Not how much you're getting paid, but how much you're going to get out of the opportunity. And a classic example is what I did at IBM. I sat down, he said, look, we never kept anybody past, it was the fall. We never kept anybody past the semester. I said, never. He said, sorry, Rashad, if you come here, come December, we got to let you go. Because I don't care how good you are. So as soon as I came on board, I started creating a relationship with everybody at IBM. I went to my founder and go, hey, what don't you like to do? He said, I hate doing this. So I had like 20 people that I was doing all their work. All their work. I mean, just if they didn't want it, bring it to Rashawn. I was doing it. I wasn't getting paid extra for this. I still had to do my other functions that I was hired to do as a part-timer and going to college. So come by November, I started dropping hints that, I won't be able to keep this up. They were really why? I said, well, IBM has this rule that you can only stay here for a semester. Well, I was there 2.5 years. And because I made a conscious effort to bring value to me.
So you're at IBM, you finally figured it out, you're working your way up, it's actually working, and then you decide that you're going to be a stand-up comic. You said you spent a year debating that decision. So you leave IBM, super cushy. Parents had to be over the moon proud that you were at IBM. You're afraid of disappointing them, but you do it. You find your own voice. You go, and now you're at some point you get to New York and you're living in a hovel.
Yes.
So
it's Tuesday. Hey, welcome back to Tuesday Talk. I know y'all might have missed last Tuesday because I was playing in the Pro-Am game. I mentally wasn't prepared to talk because the topic that's for today was meant for today. Now that I'm reading the devotion or the glancing at the devotion with the topic. But I got put out the playoffs last Tuesday. The championship was Thursday. We didn't make it. We played great. I love the guys I played with, especially when, again, I'm big on playing defense. I'm big on supporting. I'm big on a lot of things, but we played great, and I held my own. So that's why I didn't get on last Tuesday. Hectic day. And it was meant for me to get on today. If y'all haven't paid attention, the topic today is finally seeing why you prayed and was patient. You finally seeing why you prayed and was patient. And before we talk about that, the guy I had on, I was really just scrolling on YouTube, and YouTube give me things to watch off of stuff that I normally watch or interested in. And just hearing him say, whatever you set your mindset to doing, you do it. Like he said, if you go set yourself up in 24 hours a day, don't say you go get up at 8 and get up at 8:30. Still get up at 8 because you're making your mind mentally strong. You setting You setting a weakness to a strength. He say wake up at 4 every morning. And when I'm waking up at 4, he's setting himself up for greatness. He's setting himself up to be better. You know what I'm saying? That's him. You gotta always think about what you setting yourself up to do. And he also mentioned it. They said don't nobody last more than a semester. He did more than what was asked, which was the reason he lasted for almost 3 years before he prospered and so and so. And he was in college and he still had to do his own job. So that's another thing to think about when you talk about just certain life lessons or certain things in life. Now, to talk about the devotion, which will help with the topic, like the topic again is finally seeing why you pray and was patient. So the topic for the devotion today is open and closed doors. God will always give you what is right to his people who cry to him night and day. He will not be slow to answer them. When God locks a door, it needs to be locked. When he blocks a path, it needs to be blocked. When he stuck Paul and Silas in prison, God had a plan for the prison jailer. As Paul and Silas signed, God shook the prison. At once, all the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. There God goes again, blasting open the most secure doors in town. When the jailer realized what had happened, he assumed all the prisoners had escaped. He drew his sword to take his life. When Paul told him otherwise, the jailer brought the two missionaries out and asked, what must I do to be saved? Paul told him to believe. He did, and he and all his family were baptized. The jailer washed their wounds, and Jesus washed his sins. God shut the door of the jail cell so that he could open the heart of the jailer. So might that closed door you're facing be God's way of opening someone's heart? I don't know if y'all need me to read it again, but at the beginning, I want to emphasize when God locks a door, it needs to be locked. When he blocks a path, it needs to be blocked. Or when he stops an opportunity, it was meant to be stopped. A lot of times we don't know what's going on, which we have to use our faith and belief that he gonna do whatever it takes for the best of us. With that being said, he already got a lot of things in work that we don't see and know about. And that's why it's good to pray, because when you're going through something, the praying will help you with the patience. We all say, oh, I want a bigger job, I want a big opportunity, I want to special someone, I want more of this and that. But like I said on my teammate stuff, it's power in the tongue. And you have to speak it. You know what I'm saying? So when you praying, you have to believe, but you can't just always pray when you want something either. You gotta also pray just because. You gotta also pray for others. I guarantee you, the more you pray for other people, the more you'll receive yourself. Like everybody always want to focus on self, one person, individually. But once you start praying for other people, or once you start asking to heal other people, other things, other situations, you will be so much better off. Like that's something that we have to stop thinking that we always gotta focus on us and we. Sometimes we gotta give and focus on other people. And it ain't just gotta be family. It could be friends. It could be associates, enemies. It could even be homeless people. Oh, I pray that it's not that many homeless people later on. Or I pray that this is a better thing later on. Like you just have to understand that it's not always about me and we. Like he said in the story, he put two guys in prison to help other guys, to help other jailers, to sing to other people. That's the bigger picture. Like it wasn't about them two being put in jail. It was about how God used them two to show other people how powerful he was, or how God used them two to help them other people be baptized or to be whatever you need to be or strengthen or however you want to put it. Then when you break in the word patience, we have to also think about what do you want to be patient about? Like some people only want to be patient about stuff that they have an ambition about. Other people only want to be patient about stuff that they feel can come true. But why not be patient about stuff that's hard to believe in? Or why not be patient about stuff that you don't understand or you can't look into? Like you have to also think about it. All the hard things that you go through, it's the main thing you need to be patient about. Why should you be patient about something that you already love or already feel like it'll come true? Because your strength go already take you there, or your faith or the love for it go always take you there. But you need to be patient about the stuff that's hard and that's not encouraging or that's not worth your time or that's putting you through, because that's the stuff that you have to be more patient about. So again, with the topic being what the topic is, just look at the fact of finally seeing why you prayed and was patient. Like, look into it. Like, you seeing why will answer your patience for what you can receive. And a lot of times we don't really know everything or a lot of things or what is in the works. But again, the more you read, the more you believe, or the more you look at signs, you can tell. And I'm gonna end with this last one before I get out. Up there, he said, God will always give you what is right to his people who cry to him night and day, and he will not be slow to answer them. A lot of times, God answers quicker than what we think. We just don't get the answer that we want. He answers. He give us signs. It might be the answer that you wasn't looking for, or it might not be the answer that you was expecting. But when you ask him to show you something, he give you them answers. You just gotta learn to accept the good with the bad. Y'all know the motto: better days, lifestyle. It's the living. It's the day to day, and we do it every day. Better days. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay up. Tune in the next week, and remember, as long as you pray, you gotta have patience, because everybody prayers don't come right away. Sometimes it's good to be patient, because the more you wait, the bigger your prayer and blessing could be. And open and closed doors ain't always good. Sometimes he closed it, leave it closed. Don't force it back open. Because whatever you forced it back open with, that door go close again and it's go break whatever in the way. Have a good one.